and welcome to this programme on the Grand Union Canal southern section. It's one of a series of over 50 programmes on the canals and inland waterways of Britain and Europe, brought to you by Videoactive. In 1793, King George III gave royal assent to the enabling act for this wide beam canal. Designed and built by William Jessup, it provided a 70-ton barge route between London and the Midlands, bypassing the existing narrow-beam Oxford Canal and the treacherous upper reaches of the Thames. The route authorised by Parliament ran from a tributary of the Thames at Brentford to join the Oxford Canal at Braunston in Northamptonshire. By 1800 it was fully open with the exception of the Blissworth Tunnel at the northern end. When it finally opened fully, the Grand Junction Canal reduced the route between London and the Midlands by some 60 miles and made the journey reliable. As a result, it thrived, and by 1810 it was carrying some 350,000 tonnes of goods per year. This basin at Paddington would once have rattled and banged to the sound of boats and barges being shunted around, a far cry to the pleasure boats and carnival atmosphere of Canalway Cavalcade this May bank holiday. The Paddington Arm was authorised as part of the original Act and built concurrently with the main line. When the arm opened in 1801, Paddington was just a village in open countryside on the outskirts of London. Wharves were built and reservoirs were dug either side of Pride Street to enable the Grand Junction Waterworks Company to supply drinking water from the arm to the local boroughs. If you don't mind, I'll stick to the bottled variety. In spite of this initial success, Paddington was practically killed as a port by the opening of the Regent's Canal in 1820. Although this provided a direct link to London docks, the goods were delivered to wharves much closer to the city, such as City Road docks. As far as the railways were concerned, the original Paddington Station was built here by the Great Western Railway Company in 1838, giving the old canal basin a new lease of life as a rail transshipment dock. The station was covered by a three-arched roof which was built over the platforms in 1854, a superb piece of architectural engineering using the Victorians' favourite materials, iron and glass. A fourth roof span was added later. Of course, canal traffic was eroded as goods were transferred to the railways during the latter part of the 19th and early 20th centuries. Sadly, by the 1960s, this canal basin was pretty much deserted and derelict. The Paddington Regeneration Partnership was formed in 1998, and just look at what's happened. In less than 15 years, the largest central London redevelopment scheme since the Second World War, known as Paddington Waterside, has taken place here around the canal, with spectacular results. The amazing thing is, canal boats are still welcome here, and overnight mooring is free. The triangular basin at the junction of the Paddington Arm and the Regent's Canal is known today as Little Venice, or Browning's Pool. By the time the poet Browning took up residence in number 17 Warwick Road overlooking the basin, the canal was already in decline. In reality, it would have been a brutal, rat-infested place, and Browning's somewhat romantic descriptions of it were probably part of an attempt to gentrify this part of London. Passing beneath the elegant iron bridge of Westbourne Terrace, we start out on the Paddington Arm, via what was originally a stop lock in front of the toll house, where boats were gauged and charged according to the tonnage carried and the nature of the cargo. Plenty of waterside development here, with floating restaurants, bars and houseboats, including one once owned by Richard Branson. The elegant concrete structure carrying the West Way sweeps gracefully overhead. Modern apartments in old warehouse buildings open directly onto the canal as we approach Kensal Green Gasworks and the cemetery alongside the canal. All Souls Cemetery, Kensal Green, was founded in 1832. Today it's the oldest surviving English cemetery to remain in private ownership. Many great figures are buried here, including Brunel. It's too recent, of course, to house the remains of any of our great canal engineers. Opposite the cemetery, the massive gas holders of the Kensal Green Gasworks reminds us of the original purpose of the canal. It brought London's primary energy source here all the way down from the coalfields of the Midlands. Just behind the wall to the south are the extensive carriage sidings at Old Oak Common and the main tracks of the Western region.